Let's see. Hello, everybody. Hi, Denise. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Dorlyn. I am trying to stay warm in the trailer, and Viking crew are on the back from Newcastle. Okay. It's like, I'll have to look up where all that is. And Terry, that will keep you planted unless you got the fast dry stuff or the ones that needs that light. Oh, pretty in pink. I'm gonna have to make my word bigger because I didn't go grab my tablet. I got to finish sewing this together. Hi, Sharon. I never wait to the last time I'm supposed to. I get my stuff done. Hi, Darlene. Are you playing on the new machine, Arlene? Or are you just working on a quilt top? Hi, Mary. Are you going through some cooler weather? Hi, Cheryl. Mary, is it cooler down that way? I hope this cold snap's going more than just here. I'm ready for some Hawaiian, not Alaskan. Getting ready to get one loaded. Okay. Just remember to put it under that one bar. Hi, Kenneth. It's a whole whopping 40 some degrees here. 48. I'm Mary Webb again. Just got done sewing the quilt top together. Have to add outside border. Okay. Outside borders are what I love to do. Gives us that width we need in the quilt and something to put the binding on. I don't like taking my blocks all the way out to the outside edge. Need to turn my sewing machine so I can be more over here. But hi, Lynn. Move it a little bit to where it's not so much on an angle. I need a corner desk. That's what I need. 57 right now, but 27. Ew. Yeah, that's about what it is. You're still warmer than we are here. And I'm glad I didn't have to go stand outside for a bus today. No school day. Yesterday I was thinking I got to get my son to build us one of those little, hi Rita, one of those little bus houses because it's cold. Alani likes sitting in my pickup and wait for the bus, but it's still got 30 feet to go. We made the first 50 feet. But then my pickup's out there running using gas to keep us warm. And then she has to have a piece of gum, and we have scissors and string in the pickup that she cuts that. We have different learning things in the pickup. Hi, Joe's Creation. I be here. It's like you are here. Hi, Lori Clark. And is Joanna here too? Say, I might have missed some because I enlarged mine. So I lose the chat fast. In other words, I have to have two apparatuses running, and it's like the one's being stubborn, says it won't. It says it won't accept this device, and it's been charging it for a year. So all of a sudden, it says it can't charge it anymore. Oh, I am Joanna. Change. Oh, that's right. I wrote it down somewhere, Joanna. Yeah. It's hard to adjust some of the new names because it's like when she doesn't chat over the. Now, if she'd put Joe's Creative Wanderings up on her title on Rita's, then it might sink into my head one of these days. Might. You know, when you're going on 70, it's hard to change your ways. It's like, because I subscribe to your page too. Hi, June. Not to forget June. And mine's as short as it's going to get. I'm not going to put a title. I am what I am. I am Sandra K. Watching and chatting with you on your. See, on my phone, I can't do a lot of the things. I got to figure out in the settings how to change things. I got to figure that out. And then again, I want to keep my phone a phone. But if the bill keeps going up, I'm going to be hunting for a new carrier. It's like, it's just one of those things. Being I only use it for a phone, I shouldn't have to pay it ridiculous. Don't tell them I need food more than a cell phone. Okay. Means I didn't get this done when I was over on Rita's. I figured get this done real fast because it's sitting right here. But it's like Sandra decided to use Joe because there was way too many Joannas. Oh, yeah, there could be. I don't. I've never looked to try to find my name on out there on YouTube. I've seen my name come up in searches though. First time I seen that to come up as a suggestion is like, oh, okay, got something somewhere. Up here in the mountains, I don't have internet. Okay. Heck, down here in the flatland, we don't have internet some days. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. I cut in and out 3 times during the live. Came back each time. I don't know how that worked out, but it came back. I didn't have to go out and restart, which was a blessing. Because I don't like saying, okay, guys, I'll come back on another one. Okay, wrong side. When you got these little blocks that have all these different colors, it's pressed to the dark side. Hi, Janice. How are you today? I have all my alarms turned off now. My dinner's all planned with Austin. We're having chicken Alfredo. It's like we just had nachos. Or we had tacos one day and then nachos the next. And then we're having chicken Alfredo today. So I might have to get the stuff I want for homemade noodles or Rita's chicken and dumplings. I only knew about it because when everyone on Miss Rita's was helping me find a new name, they kept saying XYZ wouldn't work a lot. Okay. It's nice he's coming and has dinner with you. Yeah, and the dishes get done. Like last night, the garbage got taken out. You're fighting a cough. Ugh, I spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. I just did a little internet bleep. Hope it's like, am I still moving? It's like that was too quick. Never speak about your internet service. It's great. It's fabulous. Okay. Yeah, it just popped on, said I disconnected. I seen it disconnect and came right back on. Didn't hope you didn't mess up your fingernails, Terry. There's nothing worse than that little wrinkle in my fingernail. Every time I think about it, I break another fingernail. I need nail polish of concrete. And the nails are wet. Yeah, don't smear it. It's like finish this one little project before I go to the next. Making one color grouping of the 100 star block behind me. Have to have 88 of them all together. I'm making a twin plus. What twin plus on their pattern? It's from yeah. It's on my tablet that I don't have with me. They had several sizes on theirs. And I didn't want a lap quilt. So I did a twin and then going to add one extra for length. Can't make a square with a rectangle. Could make a square with this big square. But I went and got me something to drink, and I threw down 4 of the nacho chips. I just dipped them in some dip and ate them. That was my lunch. Eight and a half. Complicated. I got one thing to put together on the Onyx in Autumn table runner. I got one leaf to make, and then looks complicated. Nope, this is the simplest block out there, Terry. It's like, and then it's a 10-inch pieces. You can either buy them or, yeah, the one on the wall. Yep. It's a very easy, and I found it to be very easy to use my scraps too. Because I took and, I got it over here. I took a 10-inch square on paper and I cut it in half, and I did all the cuts that it said to do. for the block. So I can now take a scrap of material. I use these paper templates. And that's how I've used up all my white that I had, like 5-inch pieces, 6-inch pieces. Gotta find here. Had some, as long as the pieces fit on there. And I've used it to use up all my white scraps, some of my other scraps that I have. But it is a very, I got that one up there kind of high for you guys. But I'm trimming this one down. But you start with 2 10-inch squares or some scraps. And when you square them up, there's where you figure out your little shortcuts and what you can do. I ain't sorry, Terry. But it's like, I'm just trying to use up what I have. It's like, and I have a few whites left that are leftover pieces, whether they be 5 6-inch squares. Because a quilt, we cut them and sew them anyway. But I'm trying not to sew as frequently because I'm not going to buy. Just my thing is get what I have used. I don't need to be. I don't need to be a quilt hoarder. It's like I don't need how much fabric I have. It's like I just want to use up what I got when it's all trimmed. I figured out the block from Tuesday. Okay. Yeah. It's a very simple. It's like I have a stack here in my. This is what I have left to sew together. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then here's what I talk about scraps. This here. Can I see that again, the one you just showed? Which one? The brown one? It's like, because all this is you take a 10-inch square. The browns are beautiful in this. It's a 10-inch square. You cut diagonally. And then from that diagonal line, you cut in 2.5 over each side, separate them, and then 2.5 here, 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 here. You just change your position of your ruler. But I use like these scraps. This is a 6.5-inch piece. There's not much left from the quilt that was up there. And then I just pin the templates on there. And then I sew them onto that one. But it's like, and then same way here. Got another bundle of scraps. I have them all laid out here. And each color combo, the purple and the white here, that's 2 blocks. Each one gets 2 blocks. But I have an extra square here. So it might get moved where those scraps were, rather than cut up those scraps because I could put them for foundation paper piecing, butterflies, whatever. Because I have these scraps left of that also. Same print. Yeah. It's a very simple pattern. It's just, we just gotta use what we have and not support the post office so much. So now I have a pile, and then what I'm doing, I'm making, beans, there's 4 of each one, 2 of each color combo. Like my other brown has a different, yes, it's a free pattern. It was on a YouTube channel. If I go over here to Messenger, because I know who I sent it to first. And Darlene setting up a machine. In other words, she has it all printed out. You're not coming here anymore? Yeah, I doubt it. Hunter Star by moonkinstitchery.com. There. Back at you. So, Terry, I sent it to you. Well, that's a good thing to bring with you, Dorlin, because it all adds up. They all make a quilt. They all get put together. And then we can be nice and warm with them. It's just choosing which one we're going to cover up with. Keep smacking my knee on that drawer I had pulled out. But yeah, I sent Terry the link. But I'm working on that Onyx table runner. I have the bottom row to put. And I'm not following their pattern for placement of the leaves or anything. I'm doing my own thing. But I have one leaf still to sew. And it's pinned on the block here, so I don't lose it. I have little helpers every now and then. And those little helpers can be fun. But it's like, I like using up my scraps the best I can. It's like today when I was getting dressed, I grabbed my holiest jeans that I own, I think. No. And it's like, I shouldn't be wearing them. You're loading a quilt and listening? Darlene should be too. But that was the one that gives the best and the yardage that you need and everything. Terry put the link for the Hunter Star layer cake. But hi, Lisa. Your quilt and runner are beautiful. Have to take my dog for a walk. Have a good day. Okay, P. Glad you stopped by. Gotta get my little pieces sat out here. Yeah. I'm just trying to use up everything I can. Maybe someday I will just start handing them out to everybody. It's like they really, Emily, there was one more quilt that she wanted for little Delaney. It was the skulls of a buck, and I used some pink grasses for the border, and then hi Lorraine, and it's like then I put a minky on the back, and Emily wanted that one too because it was kind of fit her husband because he's a hunter. And she says she didn't want to be piggish. And I says, well, I made it for you. It's just, I bought the stuff. I'm going to make one for a boy and one for a girl. But I haven't got to the blue camouflage yet at the store. I guess I just knew she was going to have a girl. And so he has a quilt now for his little girl. Now, all these little tiny pieces, now I have to square up to 1.5 inches. Not saving them. Dog bed material, here it comes. Hi, Joseph. Yes, I like that pinwheel, Terry. It's another scrap buster. I've seen that on a couple channels, and it's or commercial things running through Facebook. But when you go to get the pattern on some of those places, it's like, where's the pattern? There's a quilt that I wanted to use up scraps. The wonky pinwheel. Thank you, Terry. I just try to use up scraps and more scraps and scraps. But my quantity of scraps is disappearing. It is. If you hear a scream, oh no! I think my nails are just right, or I get everything done before, and it never fails. I have to use the little girl's room. It's like, and then of course, who's got TP stuck to her fingernail? So then I have to get out the stuff and clean that off. And then it seems like you clean that off, you wreck another nail. Yeah. It's like the other day, Alani, she wanted her fingernails painted. And then she couldn't do anything. I thought I was going to have to feed her pizza. Yeah, that is embarrassing. It's like toilet tissue. But I've even forgotten, itched my nose and put fingernail polish on the end of my nose. Whatever happens always happens when you have fresh polish. So I just don't polish mine anymore. It must have been fun. Are they that muddy? My son's got to go back up and cut firewood this weekend, but he got out of the firewood part because they're putting in a new wood stove in what they call grandma's. I've only at 27. I don't know. I don't even want to count how many quilts tops I've did. The finishing them is every time I get something set up, I get babysitting takes up the time. Getting them on the bus, off the bus, getting her after school snack. And then it's really going to be rougher because I get the great granddaughter in November, about the 11th or 12th of November, someplace in there. I start having the great granddaughter. So we'll see how that works. I don't know her sleep patterns or anything. So we'll see what happens then. It's one day at a time. Rode through the river several times on the trails. Okay. See, we can't ride through waterways here, no matter what we go. It's like, what am I making? Besides a mess, I am currently working on either the one on the wall, the Hunter Star Scrappy, or this free pattern. Onyx is the name of the cat in autumn, is the pumpkins, and then it has the leaves. So I'm making the last leaf I need for this corner. They said the river's cold, but it's like, I was thinking earlier, what is the length of this? 12 and 12 is 24. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 41. I was like, this better only be the width of a fabric, because I'll take it apart and cut it down if I have to, because I don't want it to be any wider than the width of fabric. So like right now, I am going to sew all these little pieces from the leaf together. And this is one pattern. It's a free pattern, but it can get a little confusing because she'll switch width times length. She'll switch them. Next time it'll be the cut for the other. And it's like, I thought, how can I put this against this? Yes. We also, it's a creator for, yeah, I forgot the name of the sewing machine. Or the long arm. That's because it's more expensive than I can afford. Bernina. She has one for winter and one for fall. Yep, the Bernina. Because I'll never own one of those. Yeah. I had one of those, I wouldn't be able to afford anything else, so I'd just be looking at it. I'll win the lottery someday and I'll buy me something fancy. See, what's Marla and little one doing? She outside jumping on the trampoline? Or did you put it up? Or do you put it up? We put ours up because I live in a area that wind can get quite high. My neighbor, they thought that they could put just a tire on theirs and it still went across the fence. That's the part my husband didn't like. Up, down, up, down. Then when the kids quit using it so much, we just sold it. Same way with the swimming pool. They got into sports and other things, and it's like, we don't need to keep entertaining the grandkids. But now it's like I'm entertaining the great grandkids. Jessica Dan is the pattern designer. She did it for Bernina, and she has her own channel and designs. Yep. And it's 15 by 42. Okay. Thank you, Marla. It's like, I sat the pattern down. I don't know where I sat it. It's like, why I sat it. I don't know. But I want just the width of fabric. So I can not have to hunt, pieces together. Oh, taking her to swim. Trampoline is down and put away. Okay. I was going to ask you the other day if you put it up. But it's just one of those things. I still have a couple of we bought extra springs because I didn't want any rusty ones to stay on the thing. I found a couple of them. Got cough due to cutting fabric. As Carrie will tell you, we're allergic. It's just that dust. That little dust that comes in our sewing machine. And then I think I'm just going to do a straight stitch on the sewing machine when I put it together. Did she come in costume? It's getting closer to Halloween. She could come in costume. Hi, Maureen. And how is Maureen today? Your son-in-law come and took it down? Okay. That's good. I always came out of it with a battle wound. One of the springs would release just right, and I'd always bust my knuckle on the rail. They're easy to take apart and easy to put together, but I always come out with a busted knuckle somewhere. And how's Maureen doing today? Did you learn anything good in class that you can teach us? Hi, Brenda. And how's Miss Foley today? You're not still at work, are you? Right. The last gathering there. No class today. What did you learn on Tuesday? Anything good? A new project started? Swaps, trades? As I just pulled in the driveway. Okay. So there's my little leaf. It's like, it's wrong. Anybody see the wrong? This one. Hey, I'm going to leave it. It's a wonky leaf, right? Leaves aren't perfect. I'm going to just leave it just like that and put it in the corner. Has Leo been a good boy? Oh, he's probably all excited. Does he get excited when you come home, Brenda? Okay, not that end. This end. Bailey's starting to figure out that 360, that chime you hear on my phone. She knows that Austin shows up after it rings. So it's been quite interesting. Whenever it rings, that chime goes off. She's got her ears perked like, let's go, because he brings down his dogs to play. Tuesday, we're doing 2 blocks a week for the paint swatch material. It will be a sampler. Okay. You'll have to send some pictures of that. Yes, I just asked. He said he was good. Okay. Oh, she heard it. She's up and jingling. It's like, I don't know where he's at. He just went home. It's like, see, here's Bailey. She heard that noise. Give it to me. You got to give it to me. You know, I can actually say your days are numbered. You have. And Mary says, hi, Bailey. She takes off pretty fast. It's like disappointing. No one's here. I had to take all of her stuffies and put them up. So she had something to take home with her. Because she's been a chewing here lately. Then we made a Christmas ornament block. We made only one. And then they raffled the quilt in the... Okay. That's a good fundraiser. Let's see. That goes that way. This one goes this way. Sebastian yells at me. Loses his mind. I hate going because he has anxiety. And if he can't be... And you probably have anxiety also. It's like, yes, I will miss Bailey, but yes, I won't miss Bailey. It's one of those things. Time that she go be with her mama. I just sewed the binding on my pumpkin with the cat. Okay. I've been taking my sweet time on this cat because it's going to join that stack up there. Yeah. I always want to go home after I get out of my house anyway. I just ready not to be out. Not so much into the public anymore. And you're going to sew it down by hand? Yes. That is the only way. I watched somebody else I watched a couple quilts be made that was simple quilts, and every single one of them, machine did it. And it's like, no, 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 no. Hand, hand. I got that wild meadow all done. Oh, I was going to bring that in and show the finished and forgot. I love how I put the extra row of blocks in the back. I'd rather be home. Anyway, if I could take him, I would. That's only the pet store will let him in. Yeah. I know yesterday when I had to go out and do the gutter stuff, somebody was very rebellious and did not want to come back in at 6:30 yesterday morning. And I told her I was going to be late. She didn't care. So I was coming in town to let her back in the house at 8. Believe me, when I left the next time, she was in the house. She didn't want to stay outside in the cold. And she's a husky. In the afternoon class, we were doing a Christmas table runner. They were making rag Christmas tree. Base is wood. And then the strips of fabric, okay, tied onto it. Okay, that works. I could make a lot of trees. We all could make a lot of those trees. I still want to make that one tree pattern that was just sewing the strips together and coming out with a tree. I'll have to see if I can find that pattern again because I still want to do that. I don't know how well a tree's going to fare in this house with having Mr. Tornado around because he is a tornado. That tornado has bruises. He took off and fell out of his dad's camper on Tuesday. So he's got a pretty good scratched up face. It's like, yeah. He just walked out and didn't think about steps, I guess. Oh, don't hit the mouse. I don't want to leave the site. Cancel. I hit the mouse and it was going to disconnect me. Yes. He's all bruised up. Didn't hurt his ego too much, though. He's still the little rebel he is. afternoon group is joining 200 people. They meet once a month. That's interesting. You can sign up for different classes. Made a lot of interesting things. Okay. Interesting people from the industry. Oh, okay. That's how my friends used. That's how I got a lot of these scraps. Was the fabric industry would bring up scraps to be donated, and they brought up projects and those free pattern sheets and whatnot. Now I don't need one of those to be around. I have enough problem with patterns and stuff. It's like gonna have to. My guild here, the one that's closest to me, they won't even acknowledge I exist. So we have our online. We have our online guild. That's what we could call it. Our online guilds. There's all sorts of us that meet by way of YouTube. Okay, so get this untangled. It's like there's that end, and then we'll go down to that end. And I just random my leaves. I didn't put them the way they wanted them. Yeah, the doo-wop show. Yeah, it's like they had a fall leads to another fall into, yeah. But it's like I don't have a place to put it unless I hang it on as a valance on a window. But I'll find some place to put it. But I think I might do diagonals. I don't know. Yeah, it's like watching. Carrie went to the Cyndi Lauper concert, and it's like to think I would not want to take a trip or a fall at 71, and I'm getting closer to that. I'm getting closer to the 70s, and it's not the year 1970. We have tomorrow night for South Carolina. Oh, you looking forward to that after your last trip? So I'm gonna. Hi, Courtney. Pieces, love, and quilting. I'll pin it up here. That way it's up here. I'll grab this stack from behind me. It's like it's only a small stack. I think most of it is done. But it's like Alicia lives with Casey and them, so she doesn't need it. Oh no. But it's like, I gotta get this one panel together. Where's the panel? Right there. The panel, the material, and the backing are all right here. I get that quilted. Oh, and then another panel and its backing right here. Get it quilted. And I think everything else here is done. This is a placemat, but it has life begins after coffee. And I'm not a coffee drinker, so that goes to somebody else. This is a whole pile of, it's like mug rugs, the boo, another mug rug, another mug rug. Uh, yeah, the first school meeting was, I went to, I was lucky. I won the 50-50 and won the prize for a fabric company guy. And he said he would send me a prize. And 3 days later, I received a $18 stuffed with fat quarters. Oh, good. And then I just take all my Halloween scraps and sew them together. Another table runner, a smaller table runner. But what my grandkids want is autumn print on the back. That way they can take it from Halloween and then they can just flip it over and put a autumn decoration on it. So I have that one. This one. It's like, just put that autumn stuff on the back. And another one. But that way it's 2 seasons. And this one, it's got the cat, the ghost, and the bat. Got to remember, everything is backwards. And then it has autumn leaves all on the back. But that's what they want, so that's what they get. They're all gifts, all things I just put together after I made my quilt. And just try to use up all the Halloween scraps for the grandkids. So everybody's house gets table runners, mug rugs, and then Ronnie, she will get when it's quilted, the witch running into the power pole. Hi, Irene. Hi, Kathleen. The pattern was Pack Order Shop, I think it was, a year or two ago. It's like the bats are, I've got a couple different bats, but yeah, I think this was the Fat Quarter Shop. Both the pumpkin in the middle and the 2 bats. And then I just come up with my conglomeration. But if I don't keep them all in one stack, I'll lose something. And then on the back of hers is going to be the skeletons with the coffee or die, death before decaf. But first coffee. She is the coffee drinker. So hi Dee. She gets that. And then Alicia wanted the panel. And it's just a Halloween pre-made panel. So I just took a bunch of my material and I sewed just strips together. And so this will be the back of her quilt. And then it's going to be quilted with bats and ghosts and stuff. But I just got to get mine in gear. Maybe this is what I should take back there. Because she has wall space. The hardest part for anything is finding the space where you can put things. Especially when you're still living with your parents. And then her and the kids share a room. But this whole pile's done. I'll take the glasses off for a little bit. Yeah. But I'm going to do a little bit more. But on the witch one, I'm trying to figure out how to make like the cartoon effect when you hit your head on something. And then the whirling wind. It's like, it's more than I would normally do. But whenever I try to give people their stuff, it's like they never seem to want to pick or take it home. One of the two. So all of my Halloween leftovers is down to this. Or autumn. I got to see if I have a piece of material. Or if I'm going to use the same backing. It's like, do I have any autumn material left? It's not looking good. Oh, it's like, don't speak too soon. It's like, yep, I spoke too soon. I only have 2 pieces like this. So I'll have to make a piece backing for that cat one. Or find another yard of autumn material. Guild, not school? Okay. Well, same thing. It's like we're all meeting. I have to see if there's anything. I know there's no autumn behind me. But this is all I have that could be Halloweeny. And it's even in a... What? I didn't hear him. It's like... She's having a fit. Her back door must not... I'll be right back. It's like she wants out for something. Nothing like going opposite corners of the house and do it fast. It's like, she wanted outside. When does Bailey go home? November 17th, after the birthday party in Spokane for Cade. I was trying to think of... I got to cut me out some more pumpkins to put on my other Halloween thing. I know that it's an ongoing thing. I keep finding reasons to put it up, especially with little ones. Alani seems to It's well, yeah, it's overdue. I was only supposed to have her for 6 months, and it's like September 1st was a year. So it's like, yeah. But she has got such a routine. See, she's already back. She really needed to go out. Okay. It's like, I go live every Tuesday and Thursday, Lisa. It's sometime it might change in November, but it's like, it's just one of those things. Grandkids come first. You like the one with the cat and the ghost? Yeah. And then trying, Emily's got hers. Ronnie's is a wall hanging. Yes, she is a sweet dog. For being, I think she just turned 6. I think Melinda said, and she's more like a pup. She loves to play. Yeah, that witch. I got the witch at a yard sale. It was in a quarter box, and it was just ironed on. So I had to go back around and do all the applique stitching and whatnot, figure out what color put where and that. So the hardest part is how I'm going to stitch it. It's like, because it's like she's flying into the thing. So should I have swoops behind her with some, like the cartoon effects? Behind her have the lines with some swirls, like the winds behind her, and then all of a sudden she stopped, and then I want like her head hitting the pole, that cartoon effect. That's the part that's driving me nuts. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do Terry's favorite. I'm going to get a color that's a little darker so you can see it. I'm going to make another one of the Hunter Star blocks. And I'll put it down. And by using the dark color, Terry can see it better. And you all can see it better. Put the Hunter Star. Put on my glasses. Pull up my holy pants. Yeah, it's just as simple as the diagonal cut. And then I pull them. And then I cut the next diagonal 2.5 inches over. And I pull that out there. Rotate my mat. Rotating mats are handy for all sorts of things. 2.5 inches. Pull it apart. And then from this straight edge here, line up my 2.5 right here. Turn it a quarter turn, 2.5. Lined up there. And do that for those 4 cuts. And that's all the cuts you have to make. And then it's just turning the blocks. The first one, you just take your blocks, just these 2 pieces. And on this one, it's this piece. and this piece. You have the same one? Yes, a 10-inch square. Two 10-inch squares, one in the background color and one in the other. And then I'm going to go ahead and slide these down and this one up, because it's like this piece here, I'm going to unstack it. And you just bring this piece down, and it's like you're sewing a bat wing, and then this one comes down on here. And you just overlap where you got your 1/4 inch. I love this mat. There's quite a few people that complain about it. Oops. Make sure to put the white on white on the right direction, which I didn't. It just showed up very bright white. I wouldn't have seen that as much when I had the cataract surgery. So that means flip these all over. Flip them all over while I have it here. And then the same thing here. You can stack them where you can chain sew them. Or you can do one section at a time. I've only made probably 70 of these so far. I don't have a whole lot to go. They look like we're building something there for sure. And then this one here, that 1/4 inch. It's just a guesstimate. And there's plenty extra for when you trim. So far, I've had plenty to trim. 1/4. Got to pick that up so it's not on the same one. And again, oh, I didn't flip that one. So I got to remember to flip this one. My white on white. Double check. Double check. Looks awesome, whatever it is. It's the Hunter Star. It's making this block right here, Joseph. And then because of the way they're stacked, you get two. You get 2 blocks because they're stacked on top of each other like this. The placement is one on top of it, their themselves of each color. It's like, did your picture come through? I have to go look. Oops. It's like, what the heck am I doing? Yes, it did. It's like, it says show image. It's loading. And here's Maureen's. It's like right there. It's like, just a minute. Dang phone. Quit flipping it. There's Maureen's. Didn't that turn out beautiful? She's doing a striped. Very good, Maureen. It's like, if there's ever anything you need, always ask, and we try to explain what you're missing. There's all different levels of quilters, quilting. There's different techniques that might be something that throws you totally off. But always don't be afraid to ask. It's like my husband, when I was knitting something, he'd always ask what I was crocheting. So then I would correct him on what it was. And then it's like, then he would say, well, what are you crocheting? It's like, now I'm knitting. It was always something. So he gave up on quilting. He just found it was best to just make up a shop pop so we could travel around. So he made shop pops so he could go travel. Right now I'm just doing the two. It looks so complicated. Now it looks so easy. Yes, it is very easy. This is the hardest part. But if you make them into these formations, it makes it a lot easier to understand. That's why I pinned them together and did it that way. But me, myself, I just pick them up, overlay them, and sew. But I pinned them this time for the viewing. And it doesn't take long to sew them all together. Maybe add that to the list. It's like, I've thought about clearing my list, but the Appalachian Trail, I still, that's me. And the Appalachian Trail, if you look it up on the internet, is not the same Appalachian Trail that I want to do. It's like I put the pattern back in the cupboard so I wasn't so tempted to start another project. I'm actually going to make another one of these Hunter Stars out of some other colors because that was the original pattern. Darlene was in the process of another quilt, so I just started this one with my fat quarter that I had, and I still have plenty of material from those fat quarters to make other things. When I said I was mailing out some quilts to the North Carolina, or I forget what the address is, my neighbor goes, well, you can give a quilt my direction. He says, I want one of your quilts. I says, they're just throw quilts. They're nothing spectacular. And now when you press them, you press to the dark. That's one thing on this pattern. Everything presses to the dark. My iron just went to sleep, so. And if you don't have enough scraps, it's like if you have scraps enough to make half of the triangle, it's like it would work good too. Just use up all your scraps because it's just the 3 pieces. Like this one. This one here. This one's to the dark. That's what to the dark. Gotta stack them back the way they're supposed to be. because you make two at a time. So how do you quilt on your long arm? This one is too big. It's like I can put them in sections if I wanted to quilt it that way. If I was to do this like the manual way, it's like depending on the batting you get. Again, being these are 8.5-inch squares, you could just go with the angles that's up there, because there is that angle that runs both to the right and to the left. The right angle and the left angles are up there. If you're gonna just do this on your own, I would make sure to do them, and then maybe in the ditch left and right. Yeah, that one goes on the bottom there. There's a simple, every quilt can speak the pattern for itself. If you're going to do the manual way, I would, now that I think about it, see up here, Terry, they got this angle. It's like, go with both the left angle and the right angle. If I sashed it, I can do it in sections. Yes. But I don't see, it's like when I look at this, I don't see where sashing would come out, because I go where I can sash where I have a 4-foot section. Sampler quilts work the best for that for me. But if you like on your little domestic, just go with the angles. It's like there's left and the rights, and then if you need a little bit more, depending on your batting, then I would do the crossroads. That's all you would have to really quilt in that to be quilted. But in other words, long arm, I put floral. Yeah, Maureen did a beautiful job on that, didn't she? How many ended up making that, Maureen, besides just you? Excuse me. It's all in grunge. Somebody else is making something all in grunge. I think it was Donna Jordan. And that quilt turned out beautiful, all in grunge. I hear a car door, but I don't see anybody. You didn't see? I can show you again, Terry. It's still here. There's Maureen's table runner. I can't turn it because then it turns in the phone. It's like, oh, and then my mini blind here, when I turn it, I'll do as far as I can without it flipping. There. That's Maureen's. I always try to make sure if there's something you guys ever want seen, just we'll figure out a way to get it to me. It's like a show and tell. It's like, if I remember right, Maureen, when they wanted to know when they was going to bring them a copy of the pattern. It's like, go print your own, please. Oops, picking up too many pieces here. My granddaughter just came in. She said, Grandma got and you got the Alley on TV. Oh, yeah. Sandra? Okay. Yeah, of course. Isn't she used to that yet? If it's not on the phone, then we're on the phone. I mean, I got a emblem going through mine from my laptop, some cloud looking thing. Yes, you're going to have the rally on. I don't expect you to miss it either. It's like you keep us informed, or you help keep me informed anyway. We don't change our lives just because some YouTuber's on. I can't get rid of this thing. I tried moving this emblem because I thought I should be able to move it to wherever I want to. Nope. It's stuck on my screen. It acts like I could move it, but then it doesn't let me move it. So then I try to figure out, can I delete it? No, it won't let me delete it. I can edit the image. Yeah, you don't see it. It's this funny emblem. And it covers up worse than the heart. It covers worse than that little heart. But it blocks my viewing of the words. I mean, it covers all of Maureen's last name and part of UC on your line. And it would be worse if I didn't have you guys enlarged. It makes it harder for someone to read the information. Featherweight Foot does not run this sewing machine. I keep them both on the floor side by side, and I'm constantly pushing the wrong foot. Constantly. I just know there's a lot of people watching that rally. It's getting like that neck and neck in different districts. But I'm not into politics, and I'm not even going to go there. So I'll change the subject over to something else. You know, a lot of people have financial advisors. I have to have voting advisors because I don't pay attention enough. I probably should, but I have that attitude that I don't give a, but I should. It is my life. But what other projects is anybody working on? We know Cheryl's on a quilt. Dorlyn's sewing strips together. Lori also is making a hunter star. It's like the dark side. On this piece here, where it has the white on this side, that's pressing it to the dark side. You're working with Spartan still? When I first that name, I thought of my one TV show. Can't even remember the name of it. Her horse is Spartan. It was her mom's horse. And he's getting old. Okay, now set these back down here. And you have to have one of each. The arrows. Working like with your back. Just finished the second church gift to get some items in our stash for the gift shop. I'm trying to get my brain to work in the studio, but all I want to do because my legs hurt so bad with my back. Yep. Six from the small class. D, cutting pieces right now for 40 blocks that go with the hometown houses. That's good. But you have to have one of each fish. We call them the kissing fish. But you have to have one of each, and they lay on top of each other. And your things might not line up, but you line them up, and then you sew accordingly. Yep. Courtney does need to take care of herself. She's too young to have all these issues, but it's like I probably ignored all mine because that's the way I am. And on these pieces, you can either trim them or just sew them like I do and trim later. That's just my sewing technique. Because I can eyeball that I'm off and go right on down and then trim it off later. And so I have a 1/4 inch here and I have like 3/8 inch up here. And that I just have to trim that off. I trim it off after the fact. Can't throw my strips in the garbage because it's covered again. And then when you open it up, you got a 50-50. Repeat that, and you'll have another one that looks like it. But when I nest the seam here, I pin it. And then the same thing over here. Nest the seam. They, if you press to the dark, they all nest right up to each other. And then one's off compared to the other. Means it's on the back side. I didn't quite line it up enough. Look back and forth. I had that one off a bit. When you get to the nesting, pull your pin out. Make sure everything's lined up. So across the bias pieces, because that whole center right there is bias. So be careful not to stretch. When I get to the crossroads again, where they all nested together, reposition and finish sewing. Does Sandra keep freezing up, or is it just me? It's like, I don't know. They would have to answer that one. My internet was acting up. Not here, Courtney. Okay. Okay. Now, when you go to press this piece, when it says press to the dark, this, because I just did this one, you press your outside two pieces to the dark. That's what the goal is. That way they nest all nice and perfect. And Maureen doesn't have any freezing either. I'm glad you guys can't see me shivering. It's like, oh, rain showers on Sunday is what my weather says now. They don't want to tell me how 48 degrees it is. That one there, I didn't know if I needed to press to this dark side or these dark sides. Trial and error, I figured out I need to press to the little ones. Because these are the ones that match up the most. So you lay it this side down on the bottom. Do that setting of the stitches. Just seam across. Then the good old Donna Jordan roll. Because you press, not iron. That's always the thing with quilting. You press, not iron. Iron takes your bias and stretches. And this here is very bias. This one right here and this right here. And we don't want them stretched out. And then before I trim them, I give them a little, I use Faultless Magic Sizing Finish spray. That way it does that little bit of shrinking that it does. It has 29K waiting on YouTube. Okay. Boy, there's a lot of you over there waiting on there. Hi, Charlotte. I will probably not mine when I make it next year. Or it's like, Terry, we never know, do we? And so there's one pressed. It's like my next one's going to be done in the off-white on with white from Marshall Dry Goods because I'm using darker, more masculine colors. Yes. I'm sorry, Terry. It's like Darlene says about the same thing. It's like I showed her different things that was on my bucket list of things to do, and she says, "Okay, let's do it." So now I have to trim these to 8.5. Yes, the All Roads was the first one, and then she challenged everybody, and Marla is making 2 when her blocks. June just got 1 together, and I have 1, and I want to make another of the All Roads too. I thought that would be a good masculine type one to make. These guys don't all like flowers. And and Swoon 16. Did I get that breath in there right for you? And Swoon 16. I get that in there. I took a cool class in a quilt shop about 6 years ago. It was the Hunter Star. It was the most confusing. They had you putting pieces on the big long. Yeah, it's like I seen this one. I seen the Hunter Star, and I said I'm making it. And then it's like to find the pattern. I think I found the same one that you did. It was unreal. And then a few years ago, I seen this gal make it again, and it was very easy. And then the next year, that gal, 2 years ago, I think it was, she put the pattern, printed the pattern. And that's where the Moonkin stitches comes in. I watched her make it on YouTube. And then I just waited long enough and she made the pattern. I'll send you the link, Maureen, for the pattern. Because your quilt guild could all do that too. And I was thinking, this would be a fun one if it wasn't for the 80 blocks. Everybody scrap materials. It's like lights and darks. Could you imagine the scrappy swap you could have out of these things? It would be gorgeous. You're not going to make 80 blocks? I'm making 88. Because I want to make it longer because Austin's not short. Douglas isn't short. Derek's not short. The rest of us are. Oh, Alicia's not short. So we have a few tall ones in our group, our family. It's just, if I wait until I run out of fat quarters or whatever, I'd still be cutting blocks. I could make the king. But I'm going to downsize my bed here someday. So, am I making my future quilts for on my bed? Probably. I will still use my king size ones. They just go on sideways. And a lot of tucking in. So those 2 blocks are done. Put it back in the pile. Let's see. We got about 15 more minutes to kill. And another one I found at Fabric Cafe. Yeah. So let's see if I can get this one done in 15 minutes. See how far I get in 15 minutes. I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to overdo. There's a speed limit. Safely do. Oh. And when I have Alani here now, I don't get to go sew anymore. She needs me to spend time with her. So I don't argue with her. I just do as the princess says. It's nice that she wants grandma to play. I just get tired of playing dolls. As long as I make her pizza, she's okay. Twin is 4x4 blocks. And the right half, let's say, that dang thing. Or right half of the twin is 4x4 blocks. In which, because my twin is 8 wide, 10 long, and then I'm adding an extra row. You have to enjoy these kids when they want to hang out with you. When they, yes, it's because this right up here is 8 wide. Overturned it here. Gotta trim it first. Right now I have up there 3x8. Terry, if you like, just, yeah, a throw for the couch. Hi, Marilyn. Yeah, because it's 4 blocks to get across the first row because there's 2 in every one. And I made 4 piles because I have 2 sets of every color. And then I just put them in stack of 22. So when you get to 22 up there, it restarts over there, and then it's just going to continue. That way I don't get them side by side. Yes, you just need 2 sets because this would be 1 set, and this would go to make the star. Would be like here and here. Where's that design board when I want it? And then, because this goes next to this. So there's half a star. Is 2. And so reverse is the other half. Okay. I love your cat and pumpkins. Oh, thank you. It's like Maureen has made it also. Hers is way further done than mine. I have too many projects. It's like, take time to stack this. And then where I just doing it with all the whatever colors I have. It's like, might recognize some from other quilts, might not. It's like, it's just one of those things. I don't have a color choice, Maureen, but scrappy is me. And then this scrap made more scrap to do another scrappy quilt. And the other one's from what I call the Salesman Samplers. And it's going to be dark. Now, it's like on this one here, when on camera, I pinned the first one for you. There's not a whole lot of color difference for you guys. I have lavender and white. This lavender's on the back of one of my quilts I've used a lot. Needle down. Wrong presser foot. Gotta get the right gas pedal. Get my chair off the table. But I just know where they go and I lay them across and start sewing. And mine will be a king. Yes, lots of blocks. Isn't it 100 or something? 100 and something? Like, I know it's 7 yards of material for the king, for the background. I just keep telling myself I'm resizing. So I need to. Yeah. She's going to make it for the Hunter Star when she does it for her son, right? And I forget how many blocks I have cut. Yeah. On the king size one, I was thinking, and I discussed it with Darlene the other day. We thought it was one row too long because I have a king size bed and I would not want mine. I do not want mine to be 112 long because that's really hanging off of the end of the bed. A king to me doesn't have to be square because my king size quilt is 120 by 108 and it fits on my bed perfectly. I have overhang from floor to floor to floor. So I think that there could be a little bit of adjustment there, Cheryl. Just something you can think of down the road. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference in time-wise, but when you're all done and over with, you don't need the 112 by 112. It's a little bigger than I want. It will be for my son, who is an avid hunter, and he has a king-size bed. That's next year's agenda. Yes. But if I was to make it with the king size bed, like I said, I would make it one row shorter. Just one row shorter. The width is fine. The length is where I'd want. Because with an 80-inch bed, that's 30-inch hangover. My bed don't sit 30 inches off the floor. So I'd be tucking somewhere. Even after the quilting and the shrinkage, it still would be too long. Okay, I got 4 minutes. Don't think I'm going to get it all together. But if I wouldn't have taken time to goof off. I have 2 children and already made a king-size patriotic quilt for the daughter, so I feel I need to, yes. What size did you make for the daughter? What size was her quilt? Because that one king I made, my first one, was only like 96 inches by 108. I think was my first king. And I ended up taking it apart and adding to it because it didn't fit my bed the way I wanted it. You gotta like what you're getting, unfortunately. We can make what we need. So if we're going to make it what we need. But there's so many quilt patterns out there that don't have kings, quilts that are actually for on a bed as like a bedspread would be. They're just some of the oddest sizes. I hate to say it, but some of the oddest sizes. That one goes there. This one goes here. Could never figure out why they had such odd sizes. I don't want a quilt for my bed that's 60 by 60 either. And that's, to me, not a throw either. 60 by 80 would be a throw. It's not a cover yet. I need this white one. And I'm going to get over half done, but not the whole block done, or both blocks. So we'll go over a little bit. I'll finish sewing these together. So everybody can start saying goodbyes, and we'll see you next week and all this. See you around on, like, a lot of will be over on Rita's tonight. StreamYard's up their price ridiculous. Went from 10 a month to, or 15, I think it was, before she got that first discount, to 45. It's like, that's ridiculous. So Rita's cutting down. She's using all her time she can. She's going to get her money's worth, she said. Because she paid one more month. She paid 1 month at 45. So I'll see a lot of you back over on Rita's later. It's like, don't know if I'll be up on the panel or not. Just depends on what I'm doing. If Austin's still here, then it's like time with Austin. Because sometimes we play Farkle. It's like, I won the last time against him and he hasn't mentioned it. Checking to make sure the internet's still working. Okay, it's like Farkle? Yeah, I love that game. Yes. It's like we've been taught a couple different ways of playing Farkle. Oh, hi, Laura. Yeah, who are you? Are you my long lost sister? I begin to wonder if you didn't like me no more. Busy working or painting? Yeah. I wasn't going to mention you this time. Work, work, work. Yeah. It's like, did Craig get a new job? Been dying to ask that one. It's like, always want to keep up with everybody. I have to check out Farkle. It's like, it's just a dice game, 6 dice, and it's the scoring. It's like one of the scoring says you have to have 1,000 to get on board, and the other one says 500, and it's like, depends if you're playing, who you're playing with. Wanted to drop in any. Yeah, you're heading home now? Okay. Yeah, I just happened to be staying on extra to finish this next 100 star thing. Yeah. Cheryl, I know what it's like. I have the 3 kids, and it's like in May they'll all be married, except for Douglas and Marissa won't be married. Was 104 by 104? Okay. Because this one's 112 by 112. I haven't looked at the pattern any, can you tell? But it's a little longer than what I want. I like the 104 long. This always happens. They know I'm headed out for vacation. Yep. And they're going to work you to death. Yes. Yeah, I know you're going to Houston. I told Austin Austin, I need to win the lottery. He says, why? I says, that way I could go to Houston. It's closer. And he says, well, let's go. He wants to drive down to Houston. But we have to have someone take care of extra dogs then. It's like too many dogs. Finding someone to take care of Ace is a lot easier. I could take Ace over to Ronnie. It's like, what project you working on? Your Christmas? Is it Christmas quilt? Did you get all your little projects done? Do you have hand sewing to do when you go to Texas? Or are you going to go run the town? Or go back to the hotel room and collapse because you did so much walking that day? That'd be me. I go back to the room and die. Feet up in the air, wishing that I didn't do it. Let's see if Bailey's outside. She must be. I hear no jingle jangle of her collar. Laura's going to Houston to the whatever the quilt thing is. It's like, I don't know, because it's like QuiltCon's one thing. And then I would just go down because I have never been to Texas. That would be me. Oh, it could be Austin coming down here shortly. Trying to get this to blend in. That bias. Quilt Festival? Is that what it's called in Texas? She told me the other day, again, but I'm old and can't remember. Austin tells me that all the time. I says, first off, young punk, you have to tell me so I can forget. Uh-oh, he is out here somewhere. I just chimed for my address. But he's cooking chicken Alfredo. Okay, I'll put the camera up. Well, I got it, Terry. It's like, I got what you was saying. Feastable. See what, and Laura's doing some long arm stuff, some groovy board stuff, and a couple other classes. Oh, I go put anything in the microwave, even a cup of tea. I have a Bailey right there, like, what am I eating? It's like, you're not eating anything, Bailey. Bailey loves it when tornadoes here, Alan, because he's an easy one to steal the food from. He can't run fast enough yet, and he doesn't yell like his sister. Just depressing to go. But it's like, see, on my agenda for the weekend, do I have plans? Nope. Casey's gone. They're up getting firewood. The kids are with their dad this weekend. So I'll just work on some more Hunter Star blocks. Or cut out some more blocks for the other one. He must have went to the backyard. I know. What? Did he take off? No. Okay. Bailey's going to tell you guys all goodbye. It's like all over me. Now Austin's in the front. He's just bringing down dishes because he wants to take leftovers home, probably.
I'll be down in about an hour or so.
Okay. It's like, enjoy the rally, Maureen. Are you guys still waiting? I don't know what time it starts. So now I just have to trim these two up to 8.5 and they're done. So it took me about 25, 26 minutes. It's like it all works. Can't cut with the mouse. Oops. I gotta take that Halloween stuff off of there. I don't have the print pattern, just the video. Okay. It's like, do you need the link, Cheryl, or no printer? Because I just saved it on my, it's just saved on my note book to refer to. That way I don't have to go back to the video over and over again. Austin just told me I have an hour, so I can make a few more of these off camera and go from there. But yeah, I just saved the program on my laptop, my tablet, I should say. It's like, gonna save it on this one up here. That way I have something to refer back to. And then when I do get ink, I'll print it again because I am making it again. Where am I? I'm in Washington State. What do they call it? I'm not central. I'm kind of eastern Washington. There's no mountains near me. They're a few hundred miles away. Before I drop all these scraps on the floor. Your granddaughter's in Montana? It's like, I've been all through Montana. My husband was born in Montana. My family's in Montana. That's our family reunions are in Montana. Beautiful country over there, but wide open spaces. They got it. It's like when my husband said he wanted excuse me, what state he wanted to move to. He wanted to move to Wyoming. I said, why Wyoming? Why not Montana? It's like Wyoming has cooler license plates. He liked that bunking Bronco on that Wyoming plate. And I says, that's it? We're going to pick them by the prettiest plates. I don't know where I'd live. But I don't think license plates are that pretty. She loves it there. She She must be near. Is she near a bigger town? Billings, Missoula. My husband's from up by Kalispell. My family's Kalispell, Great Falls. I like Big Timber. It's just a little town with a big name. I go for the small towns. We've been to several quilt shops. Montana's one of those. If you do a shop hop, do it in several days. There's too much territory to get around. And then they have lower octane gas, so your cars don't run the best. It's like, that's one thing about Montana. My husband didn't like the lower octane gas. Bunged up the fuel injectors and carburetors. We always carried our own octane booster. See, I just turned around, stacked this. This is what I do. When I'm sitting in here, I just took this whole block. It's now cut. Because I was sitting here just talking. It's like, that's me. White on white. But, okay, I'll give you guys all a break. We'll go get your dinner, get whatever, and we'll see you someplace over the weekend on the internet. Later tonight, tomorrow, I don't know. It's like sometimes I get bored and go, maybe I should do a live. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But it's like, I never know what I'm going to do for sure. Turning these colors over correctly right now. But everybody have a good rest of your night. And if I see you around, I see you. If not, next Tuesday, hopefully I'll be here. Just never know. It's like grandkids call, I'm off. So we'll see you guys all later. And I'm going to sew this one together and try not to pick up the next one. Oh, I only have one more to cut. Oh, I will have these done tonight. No problem. So see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Do it. I will do it. One left. I will get it done. Bye, everybody. Oh, I got to shrink down the letters. Oops. Can't see behind. Bye, everybody. End.